tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I miss you.
Under the benevolence of Saint-Georges Castle, the city of Seven Hills reveals its soul through its neighborhoods of 1,000 colors, where every alley tells a story and every facade bears witness to a vibrant history. From the bohemian neighborhood of Bairro Alto to the serenity of Belem, every stone, every wall, every square invites us to travel and contemplation. Today, we set off to discover Lisbon, this enchanting city where every breath of air, every reflection of light, and every note of music tells part of Lisbon's fascinating history. Nestled on Portugal's Atlantic coast, the city is marked by its essential monuments. Since we have to fly to the magnificent Azores Islands the next day, we will discover the city in just a day and a half of sightseeing. So if you don't want to miss our upcoming films dedicated to these volcanic islands lost in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, subscribe and activate the bell.
Oh, there's something deep inside, yeah.
Between its picturesque hills, cobblestone streets, and historic monuments, Lisbon promises us an unforgettable visit rich in discoveries. Welcome to our express journey through the capital of Portugal. We start our day at the largest green space in the city center, the Edward VII Park. It was developed on a former basalt quarry and has borne the name of the English King Edward VII since 1903 and in homage to the alliance between the United Kingdom and Portugal. Perfect for a walk, we can also visit the Carlos Lopez Pavilion, a historic building initially constructed for the international exhibition in Rio de Janeiro, now used for various events. There are ponds, sculptures, and numerous paths for walking. Adjacent to the park, you will find the Imalia Rodriguez Garden, named in honor of the fado singer. Here, you can find the work Mother and Child, a statue by Botero, the national flag, the monument of the Carnation Revolution, and a belvedere from which you can admire the unique view of the park and the city. The amphitheater layout offers impressive visual depth. The park is surrounded by several interesting sites, including Marquês de Pombal Square. Here, we witness a parade, a tribute to the Carnation Revolution of 1974, which led to the fall of the dictatorship that has dominated Portugal since 1933. The carnation flower has become a symbol of the April 1974 revolution. The origin of this symbol is attributed to the gesture of a woman, Soulèche Cairo, who worked in a restaurant in Lisbon. A soldier asked her for a cigarette, but she only had red carnations, and began to distribute them to the soldiers, who placed them in the barrels of the guns. The carnations became a symbol of non-violence and pacifism of this revolution. In the center of the square stands a monument, proudly inaugurated in 1934. It's a statue of the Marquis of Pombal, a key figure in 18th century Portugal. At the top of the column, with his hand resting on a lion, symbol of power, his eyes turned towards the Baixa district, in the center of the city. This visionary and reformist statesman played a crucial role in the reconstruction of Lisbon after the devastating earthquake of 1755. We take the metro towards the Estrela Garden. Located in the heart of the city, it's a green space much appreciated by the locals. Designed in the 19th century in a romantic style, it offers a variety of exotic plants, vast lawns, and peaceful water features. The shaded paths invite leisurely strolls. Facing the Basilica d'Estrela, this garden is a true haven of peace, perfect for relaxing and enjoying nature, right in the middle of the city. The Basilica is one of the most impressive churches in the city. Built in the 18th century by order of Queen Mary I in gratitude of the birth of her son, this basilica is a remarkable example of Baroque and neoclassical architecture. Its facade, adorned with statues and sculpted details, is dominated by two imposing towers. Inside, one discovers a magnificent dome, sumptuous marble altars, and a precious nativity scene composed of more than 500 figures made of cork and terracotta. And the basilica has a terrace accessible via an internal staircase. From there, one can admire the rooftops of Lisbon and the surrounding hills. It also provides a unique perspective on the architectural details of the basilica itself, including its twin towers and imposing dome. After the visit, we take the tram towards the Campo de Urico market for lunch break. Inaugurated in 1934, this market is a popular meeting point for locals. Here, one can find a wide variety of fresh products. Recently renovated, the market has modernized by adding dining spaces, where you can taste typical Portuguese dishes as well as international cuisines. Not far from the market, we discover the Teófilo Braga Garden, also known as Jardim da Parada. This garden, named in honor of Teófilo Braga, a writer and former president of the Portuguese Republic, is characterized by its shaded walkways, well-maintained lawns, and children's play areas. It offers a peaceful setting in the heart of the city. Located in the Estrela district, the Largo das Necessidades is a historic square surrounded by iconic buildings. At the heart of this square lies the Palácio das Necessidades, an 18th century former convent transformed into a royal palace and currently serving as the headquarters of the Portuguese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. with its peaceful gardens and historic buildings. It offers a tranquil atmosphere and a fascinating glimpse into Lisbon's history and architecture. It's a perfect place for a leisurely stroll, allowing you to explore a less touristy but equally captivating side of the Portuguese capital. After this relaxing walk, we head towards the famous LX factory, and on our way, we discover a true hidden gem, the Church of Nossa Senhora da Quitação, which has an astonishing interior. LX Factory is an iconic place famous for its creativity and bohemian atmosphere. Located in a former industrial factory under the 25th of April Bridge, LX Factory has become a vibrant cultural and artistic hub. Here, you can find art galleries, design studios, independent fashion boutiques, as well as trendy cafes, restaurants, and bars. This artistic complex hosts cultural events throughout the year, such as art exhibitions, vintage markets, live performances, and festivals. One of its highlights is the Liarjivagar bookstore with its towering shelves that reach up to the ceiling, creating a modern and artistic urban library atmosphere. This place stands out for its unique ambience and extensive selection of books, ranging from bestsellers to specialized works in various fields. Continuing our stroll, we move on to another must-visit place in the city, the Ribeira Market, also known as the Time Out Market, one of Lisbon's most iconic markets. It has been renovated and modernized to become a must-visit destination where gastronomy, culture, and conviviality blend seamlessly. Inside, you will find a wide variety of stalls, offering traditional Portuguese dishes as well as international cuisines, providing a rich and diverse culinary experience. It's a perfect place to immerse yourself in the lively atmosphere that persists throughout the day. Outside the market, we discover several stands and a small green area, perfect for relaxing for a while.
잔잔하기만 하던 엄나의 마음에 Quite suddenly 퐁당 또 퐁당 아니 퐁당 큰 돌을 던진 너 기다리고 기다리던 그 사람이 온 내 앞에 내 맘 어느새 일렁이는
The Pink Street is a historic street once associated with the red light district of the city that has undergone a major transformation in recent years to become a trendy and colorful destination. Located in the Cais do Sodré district, Pink Street is famous for its bright pink painted pavement, which immediately grabs attention. The neighborhood has become a symbol of Lisbon's urban revitalization. The Santa Justa lift is an iconic structure in Lisbon, located in the Baixa district. This metal elevator is a marvel of late 19th century engineering. Its wrought iron design resembles that of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and it connects Baixa to Rua do Carmo. The elevator is not only a practical way to move between the city's levels, but also a highly popular tourist attraction. At its top, an observation deck allows us to admire Lisbon's red rooftops and the São Jorge Castle, offering a spectacular panoramic view of the city.
눈 감아도 그대만 보여요 터질 것 같은 이 맘
On the heights, just behind the elevator, you'll find the Plaza do Carmo. It's a square mostly famous for its rich history and charming ambience. At the center of the square stands the Carmo Convent, an impressive Gothic structure in ruins dating back to the 14th century. Partially destroyed during the 1755 earthquake, the convent remains an evocative structure with its imposing ogival arches and bare columns, providing a fascinating glimpse into Lisbon's architectural history. Plaza do Carmo is also a popular meeting place, surrounded by sidewalk cafes and small gardens. It offers a picturesque setting to relax, stroll, and enjoy the cosmopolitan atmosphere of Chiado. Today, the square is often lively with cultural events and performances, making it a prime location to explore Lisbon's history and culture, while soaking up a vibrant atmosphere. We head back towards the elevator to go to Rocio Square, officially known as Praça Dom Pedro IV. It's one of the main squares at the heart of the city. By the way, this was our meeting point for our guided tour of Sintra, which you can find the film of on our channel. Since the Middle Ages, it has been a focal point of the city and remains a lively gathering place, as we can see today during the Carnation Revolution festivities. The square is characterized by its distinctive wavy mosaic pavements, typical of Portuguese urban design. At the center of the square stands a monument dedicated to Dom Pedro IV, a prominent Portuguese king and emperor of Brazil. Its central location makes it an ideal starting point for exploring Lisbon's historic neighborhoods, such as Baixa Chiado and Alfama, all within walking distance. And it's perfect timing because we are now going to gain some height to admire the city. And we take the Disaugi stairs, which connect the lower part of the hill to the bigger neighborhood. These typical Lisbon stairs are a practical way to get around the city. Inviting us to explore the traditional neighborhoods of the Portuguese capital on foot. And we head towards the garden Cerca de Graça. This will be the last visit of this first day, and it's known for its panoramic views of Lisbon, especially of the picturesque Alfama district, and appreciated for its beautiful landscaping, winding paths, and shaded resting areas. Nightfall is approaching, and we end our day with a short tram ride back to our hotel on the famous tram number 28. This historic tram travels through some of the most picturesque and historic neighborhoods of Lisbon, offering passengers magnificent views of the city through its sliding windows. Early in the morning, we set out to see as many places as possible before heading to the airport. And we begin our day with a visit to arguably Lisbon's most iconic monument, the Belém Tower. It's a true icon of Portugal, situated at the mouth of the Tagus River. This fortified tower was built in the early 16th century during the reign of King Manuel I, at the height of Portugal's Age of Discoveries. It's a remarkable example of Portuguese Renaissance military architecture, combining Gothic Manueline, a unique Portuguese architectural style, and Moorish elements. The tower served both as a guard post to protect the entrance of the port of Lisbon and as a departure point for Portuguese explorers embarking on maritime discoveries. The exterior of the tower is adorned with intricate sculptures, floral motifs, and religious and royal symbols, reflecting the significance of the Age of Discoveries. The Belém Tower is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and remains one of Lisbon's most visited attractions. As we walk along the river, we discover a sculpture of an airplane. This monument commemorates the pioneering transatlantic flights made by Portuguese aviators. They achieved the historic journey crossing the South Atlantic from Lisbon, Portugal, to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. They used pioneering navigation methods, including the sextant and specially designed maps, to complete this 7,400 km crossing. Further away, there is a monument of the discoveries, standing at 52 meters tall. It commemorates the Age of Discoveries during the 15th and 16th centuries, when Portuguese explorers sailed the seas to discover new trade routes and lands. Originally built in 1940 for the Portuguese World Exhibition to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the death of Prince Henry the Navigator, a key figure in Portuguese maritime expansion who discovered the Azores, Madeira and Cape Verde. The monument depicts a stylized caravel, a type of ship used during the Age of Discoveries, with various important figures from Portuguese history, including explorers, cartographers, monarchs, and other notable personalities. At the forefront stands Henry the Navigator himself, holding a caravel in his hands, symbolizing Portugal's pivotal role in global exploration.
I've been pushing away everybody I love.
At the base of the monument lies a marble mosaic depicting a compass rose with a map of the world at its center.
I just want to be somebody who...
The compass rose measures 50 meters in diameter and was designed by Cristino da Silva. It was a gift from the Republic of South Africa. It shows the routes taken by Portuguese navigators in the 15th and 16th centuries.
Won't you save, 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 save me? I am out here alone, 'cause there's nobody left. I need someone to talk to, get this pain on my chest.
From there, one can see the magnificent Praça do Império garden. It's crossed by shaded alleys, fountains, and carefully maintained flower beds, creating an atmosphere conducive to relaxation and strolling.
Won't you save, 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 save me? Won't you save me?
It occupies a central place near the Jerónimos Monastery. Unfortunately, we won't be able to visit it due to the time we have today and the huge line. It's a jewel of manual line architecture. This monumental monastery was commissioned by King Manuel I in 1501 to commemorate Vasco da Gama's return from his trip to India. It houses the thumbs of the navigator Vasco da Gama and the poet Luís de Camões, among other historical Portuguese figures.
Oh, I'm running out of time. I have to stay strong.
A few meters from the monument, we make a stop at Pastéis de Belém. It's where we will buy the famous pastéis de nata, those delicious little custard tarts. And it's this famous traditional pastry cafe, established since 1837, near the Belém Tower, that we stop to taste these renowned pastries, which were created from an ancient recipe from the monastery. We continue our exploration of the neighborhood and arrive at Alfonso de Albuquerque Square. It's located in front of the National Palace of Belém, an 18th century palace that today serves as the residence of the President of the Republic of Portugal. It's named after the second governor of Portuguese India, Afonso de Albuquerque, and offers the most beautiful view of the palace. It features a new manual line style monument by artists Silva Pinto and Costa Motatio, inaugurated in 1902. This monument supports a bronze statue of Alfonso de Albuquerque and bas-reliefs that depict his life. It was from this square that Queen Maria I of Portugal and King John VI of Portugal departed for Rio de Janeiro in 1807, following the invasion of Portugal by Napoleon's troops. We are now heading towards another iconic square in the city, the Praça do Comércio. We arrive at its north arcade, where we discover a superb triumphal arch, marking the entrance to Rua Augusta, a pedestrian and shopping street leading to Rocio Square. Upon arriving, our gaze is immediately captivated by the imposing equestrian statue of King Joseph I, which has been reigning in the center since 1775, surrounded by neoclassical architecture, with restored arcades after the devastating earthquake of 1755. The buildings framing the square, with their ornate facades and elegant balconies, tell the rich and tumultuous history of Lisbon as a former commercial and governmental center of Portugal. It's more than just a square. It's the beating heart of Lisbon, where history, culture, and contemporary life harmoniously converge. Nestled in the heart of Baixa district, this expensive paved esplanade opens toward the Tagus River, offering breathtaking views of its shimmering waters and the 25th of April bridge that connects the city to the opposite shore. We can catch a sight of the Cristo Rei monument, a statue of Christ overlooking the city, inspired by Rio de Janeiro's Christ the Redeemer, symbolizing Portugal's gratitude for escaping World War II relatively unscathed. Just next to the place is located the Town Hall Square. It's dominated by the imposing building of Lisbon City Hall, whose facade, adorned with balconies and arches, reflects the typical neoclassical architecture of the 18th century. On a platform in the middle of the place stands an 18th century pillar which symbolizes the enforcement of justice. Its design consists of 3 twisted fluted columns topped by a globe. Condemned criminals were tied to the columns and often whipped in public. Now, we are going to discover one last monument. The Cathedral of St. Mary Major, a historic and architectural gem located in the heart of the Alfama district, one of the oldest in the Portuguese capital. Since its foundation in the 12th century, this majestic cathedral has been a symbol of faith, resilience, and the evolution of the city of Lisbon. Built on the ruins of an ancient mosque, the cathedral showcases a unique blend of architectural styles, primarily Romanesque and Gothic. Its fortress-like appearance, with thick walls and massive towers, bears witness to the troubled periods of its history. Its facade is crowned with a rose window, and inside, the majestic nave extends skyward, lined with imposing columns and ornate side chapels. The cathedral houses a precious collection of sacred art, relics, and liturgical garments. These objects recount the religious and artistic history of Portugal, with pieces dating from the Middle Ages to the Baroque period. And it's on this final visit that we leave Lisbon to travel to Terceira Island. Our stay in Lisbon was short, but it left us with an indelible impression. Every corner of this vibrant city enchanted us, from its picturesque alleys to its majestic historical monuments. Despite the limited time, we were able to taste the cultural, gastronomic, and architectural richness of the Portuguese capital. There is still so much more to discover: unexplored neighborhoods, hidden treasures, and authentic experiences waiting to be lived. Lisbon, with its inexhaustible charm and timeless beauty, deserves a longer stay. We leave this enchanting city with precious memories, but one thing is certain: we will be back. If you haven't yet had the chance to discover this pearl of the Atlantic, pack your bags. Lisbon is waiting for you. See you soon for new discoveries.